for the next couple of days, every now and then I find pieces of glass, even though I'd washed my hair. I'd find pieces of glass, at least, the first day, took a shower, second day, third day, I'd find pieces of glass. It had gotten everywhere. Clothes, pockets, go to do laundry, the launder the items that you were wearing, and there was pieces of glass in the pockets. How that got into the pocket, I have no clue. Around that time now, we're starting to talk about missing people. Did they hear about so-and-so? Did they find so-and-so? And now it's more people, conversation around people, and so-and-so made it, so-and-so didn't, this one's missing. And Steve's nephew is like, continually taking inventory of his classmates and did so-and-so, we still don't know it. And there had been a fellow in his graduating class that had huge plans about going to California, and he had his own business at this point. It was like an internet kind of thing. And he didn't make it. And I didn't learn he didn't make it until I was back in DC, because he was missing for a while. And he's the young guy that had been in a Hummer, I think it was a Hummer, with his dad, and his dad had tried to grab a hold of him, and he'd been sucked out of the car. He was missing for a couple of days. I don't remember that anybody else that his nephew knew having lost their life, or since then, if anybody, how many, I look at the pictures that I took at graduation, where you have everybody sitting. And I look at, when I say that, when I went home, and I would look at them and I say, how many of these people survived? That thought. Teachers and family and kids. And then the next day, Tuesday, Steve's sister drove us to the airport, and on the way there, we stopped off at a Sonic to get some breakfast burritos. And I remember thinking, that was for me, that was surreal, because it felt so normal. That they're up, up and running. Yeah. We can pull up, talk, get our order, and be eating, because that was a normal event versus what we experienced, or sitting in a house without power, with generator, talking about people who made it and didn't make it. Yeah, I don't know why that particular event, the Sonic, was like, that's surreal.
I'm assuming in the flight between Joplin and you go straight from Joplin to Philadelphia?
We go to DC, spend the night at my house, and then wake up the next morning and drive to Philly.
So this might seem like a irrelevant question, but there's a reason I'm asking it for the next one. But do you remember where you had a layover? I'm assuming between Joplin and DC, you're going to lay over somewhere at a bigger airport.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, so the reason I asked that is because I'm just wondering, I was in an airport yesterday myself, so, the airport's in my mind, but do you remember having thoughts as you're walking through the airport to catch you've arrived from Joplin and now you're going to get on a bigger plane to go to DC, walking through the airport, seeing so many thousands of people just carrying on with their normal lives? Did you have thoughts like, you folks just don't have a clue about what just happened?
And I don't know if we had a direct flight or not. We flew into National Airport. I do remember when we were walking, we took a cab home. I was always a cab away from the airport.
Yeah.
having that kind of a feeling, because I seem to remember that the monitors, they always have like CNN or whatever on there. You could see footage
Oh,
of
wow.
the destruction. They were still, I mean, they were talking about this even on the East Coast for days.
Wow. Yeah, sure.
And I'm looking at it. I recognize it. I look down and people are walking around doing their thing. And it's like, wow, we made it out. And you guys don't have a clue. And that's in my head.
Right.
You guys do not have you see this, but you do not have a clue. That's what's in my head.
What do you remember about that flight out? Were you able to see out the window as you're flying out of Joplin?
It was a small, one of those small planes. And I know we rose up. It was quiet. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to the closest window. Everybody's looking out the window. I don't think there was anybody not looking out the window. A little bit of chatter, not very loud. More quiet than chatter. And it's like, wow, it's a big area. I had a clue it was a big area because of our journey from where we were when the tornado hit to get to his sister's. That was another experience. So I had a clue that it was not just like a street or something that got hit, but seeing it from above, it's like flat toothpicks everywhere where trees used to be.
Yeah.
And bigger buildings, you see damage, homes in various stages of destruction. Some are flattened, some still have something up. Yeah.
Since that time, has anyone ever sat down with you and said, tell me in detail what happened?
Nope.
No.
No. I never went into detail with my mom about it. There's some, but what I told her, I don't think she really fully grasps the experience, and that's okay with me because I don't need her to. I remember going back to work. In 11 years, I think maybe I can count on one hand my telling people, oh yeah, I was in the Joplin tornado. And the response I get back, oh yeah, that's it. Nobody says, and it's East Coast people, right? I don't know how much, I don't think that they were glued to the TV or anything. And when I get that response, it's like, yeah, and that's it. No,